Hello. We are live now. So we have a special guest. Nobody's in the stream right now because I literally just went live like 30 seconds ago. But we are back with my coach, FIDE Master Alessandro Manzone, and we haven't had a lesson in quite a while. It might have been a year or so. But yeah, we're all set up. It takes a lot of technical things behind the scenes to get this all set up on stream. We are live on Twitch and YouTube, and viewers will start showing up shortly. Welcome back, and thanks for setting aside some time to give me another lesson, which I so badly need.
Thanks, Tyler. Thanks for the intro, and for having me in your channel again. It's been a while, and I know you continue with your journey. You're almost 1,800 feet there, which is great.
Hard to believe, but yeah.
um, well, I wanted to ask. I mean, I know that you've been in kind of a deep in your ratings online, basically, because over the world it seems to be going pretty good, pretty well. Um, what do you think it's the reason?
Well, I think that time management continues to be a large reason. If I had to just guess, I'm thinking probably like at least 50% of my losses are due to poor time management, because I often get good positions. Now, obviously, I'm spending more time to get them, but yeah, I think time management is a big factor, probably about 50% or more. And then I think probably part of it is just bad luck. You know, you get a series of losses. So I think maybe bad luck, maybe is like 25 to 30% of it. And then I'm not sure of the remaining percentage.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, online ratings, you have to think of them in a range, I think. Like, okay, I'm somewhere within, I don't know, 2050 and 2250. And well, my range is more or less that. Of course, trying to improve is trying to stay closer to, uh, to the highest end of that range. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've so far from what I've seen, I've been looking at your recent streams. Your calculation is looking good. I have to say that puzzle training is paying off. Um, as for training, I mean, I would like to know a little bit about what you've been doing. I know your openings are always up to par, even probably above what you need, I would say. Um, and then I see that you do a lot of tactical training, and it shows in the calculation, like when I was looking at your streams and you start with this, is it puzzle storm?
A puzzle streak.
uh,
So puzzle
Puzzle
streak.
streak.
Yeah. So you can't get a single puzzle wrong, and so they start off easy, and then they progressively get more difficult. And so I really like this approach because you get the perfect mix of the easy puzzles, which help build your pattern recognition, and then they get harder, which help build your calculation. So you get the full spectrum of difficulty, and I like the puzzle streak aspect of it because it forces you to be accurate. You can't let your guard down. If I get one wrong at puzzle 42, I literally start over 4, 5, 6 times until I hit 43. I do that at the beginning of every stream before I play any games. It's my warm up, and it can take between like 20 minutes to an hour, and I set a stop time of an hour because previously I could spend like 2 hours on it and then I don't even get to play any games. So I set a stop time of 1 hour.
Yeah, and it's good as training. Sometimes though, it feels like a lot of time goes easier puzzles because you have to build all the way up to puzzle 30 something where things start to get more complicated maybe. Um, and yes, some from time to time to do some work that is a little bit maybe more rewarding or um, more challenging. uh, Sometimes what I like to do, I do puzzle rush, survival, which is more or less the same thing, but
You get these
you get
three
three puzzles
lives.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, three strikes and you're out. But
Yeah.
well, it's three, not one.
Mhm.
um, Sometimes I just go through the easier ones really quickly, but still it's a lot of them. So I'll just leave it there and then later return, or even on the next day, I will return to those and I will start from, well, a tougher one, so to speak. So I don't have to go through all of this
Mm.
and get to the end
Yeah.
really tired and with the need to play. And so I can spend 15 minutes or 20 minutes in a puzzle if I want,
Yeah.
with one of the more complicated ones.
Yeah, you know what I would absolutely love is if they had the the feature where you could start at a predetermined number. So you could start at 15.
Mm.
That would be so nice. Or you start
Oh,
at 20. That would be perfect, but they don't have that.
yeah, you have to do it manually here. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to leave it at that and then pick it up later. Yeah, it's a problem. Um, that's one thing. The other thing is that, yeah, sometimes the problem with training tactics. I mean, the calculation part improved a lot, I think. I mean, for what I've seen you solve puzzles and you can go pretty deep into variations. The technique is good in that you don't leave a lot of options unattended. You're really like doing the tree of variation stuff basically
Kotov.
very well,
Yeah.
like Kotov.
Well, I can't
Which is
afford to get
cool.
one wrong. That's the thing. Yeah, you have to get it right.
Hmm. But when you play a game, of course, it's different
Mm,
because there's a
mm,
lot more stuff going on. It's not only dependent on tactics. And to be honest,
mm.
calculation is important, but at the same time, um, not every decision requires deep calculation at all. So I see you spend a lot of time, sometimes in positions where you have to make an assessment and decide on a plan. I put this game in here as an example.
Sorry,
Uh,
just a quick interruption. I guess one of your students showed up here and just said hi. It's Peter. Do you know
oh, who is
Peter Finn?
Peter?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hi, Peter.
Yeah. Okay,
Have a
sorry.
lesson tomorrow, Peter. Don't
Oh.
forget. Oh, you were playing this with the black pieces. Okay.
Oh, right, yeah.
Um,
Oh, is this from yesterday or? Yeah, yeah, this is from yesterday.
it's one of your recent streams. Yeah. um,
I'll just flip the board, the orientation.
yeah.
Okay.
So, well, your opponent played a setup basically, but now he makes a move that I really, really dislike. D takes e5. I mean, I don't know how to make sense of this setup where he plays e3 to support e4 and then he takes on e5, basically giving you more space in the center for no reason. Um, it's not particularly logical. And then he goes queen b3. Um, Here you spend quite some time, I would say. I don't have the
Uh,
timestamps for this one, but you spend some time here.
I
Depending on what you do.
well, it's
Mhm.
yeah. It was just as a side note. Literally about 5 minutes before our lesson, I was looking this opening up. Um, uh, yeah. So I guess C6 is the engine's top choice. Yeah, I think in the game I
Mhm.
played E4 because Simon Williams, who's kind of the champion of the Dutch, uh, I watch a lot of his streams, and he often, when White has this fianchetto bishop on the king side, he often loves to play like E4 and sometimes G4. Um, and so I kind of went with that plan, but I knew that it did allow access to f4. So I was a little bit like I wasn't 100% confident of e4. It also, I guess, it kind of weakens d4 as well. So it weakens, yeah, d4 and f4. But I was just thinking, like long term, his light squared bishop might be a problem for him. But yeah, when I was looking at it, like the engine suggestion of c6, I mean, it blunts his light squared bishop, and it kind of dominates his knight on c3. But yeah, it's not the first move I would consider here. It feels a little awkward for black.
Well, that's interesting. I don't think E4 is bad. I mean, it looks very reasonable. But frankly, the first thing I saw when I thought when I saw this position is, oh, C6, of course. I mean, I'll just play it without thinking even.
Mm,
Um, and it's because of the post structure is really typical. I mean, you can see this stuff a lot in King's Indian structures, in a lot of openings where this structure basically blunts the bishop, blunts the knight on c3. Um, his control of d4 is a little bit less optimal in that if he wants to fight for the center with e4, d4 becomes a hole. So for me, the plan is very clear. Play c6, get a knight to c5, and play a5 to support it so that he can't really play b4. That's the go-to strategy here. Um, the thing is, if you maybe haven't seen many games with this type of structures, if you don't have these setups or plans exactly clear, you can calculate a lot of moves. You can
mm,
try to figure out if e4, knight f4. You can spend a lot of time in a position like this and still not come to a clear conclusion. I think c6 is basically the move. If I want to be accurate about this, maybe I would think, okay, it's either c6 or knight a6. I don't know if this is something that you would consider.
yeah, well, really, I was like, it was more, I was just mostly deciding, like, can I play e4? Does e4 look
Mm.
like, is there something bad about e4? If there's nothing bad about e4, I'm going to play e4 because I know that that's an idea. So that was, I didn't actually
Mhm.
consider anything else.
Yeah, I mean c6. I like c6 or knight a6, but I'm gonna play c6 anyway on the next move probably. Um, because I don't see what white does in the center, and I would really like to encourage him to play f4, and then I play e4. So I don't give him f4. The bishop on g2 is basically dead for sure if he does something like this. He doesn't even have f3 as a pawn break anymore. Um, so this I would love. I would love to see something like this happen. The other counterplay available for white has to do with e4, but it seems very risky. Um, yeah, maybe he could leave you with a weakness on e5, but I don't think he's prepared for this kind of action. Threatening knight e5 and knight e3 right away looks pretty scary. Um, we could even capture everything, put a bishop on h3. I don't know. It feels like yeah, the initiative is just going to be yours no matter what. Um, And if that's the case, he just lost control over the center. Let's say he just plays natural looking moves. He castles, you play knight a6. His setup is a mess, by the way. With the queen on b3, he killed this bishop. And he needed b3 and bishop b2, but with the queen on b3, it's just not happening. He will have to move the queen back. Well, maybe rook d1, queen c7. Let's say he moves the queen back. Not that any of this is necessarily um, forced, but it more or less makes sense. And now you'll have to figure out if you can play this or b4 is annoying, or you can play, I don't know, knight b4, queen b1, a5, and you secure the knight. If you play a3, you will go back and you will put a knight on c5. That's what you want here, knight on c5. Your pawns control all the possible pawn breaks. You take it from there. I see that white is is extremely restricted. I mean, imagine knight on c5, you play bishop b6, you hit this pawn. You have all the play here. I can't really make sense of his setup too much. Um, but my main point here is that working a little bit on positions that don't have a single answer, direct tactic or whatever, is important too. Most of the decisions you will have to face during games are of this type. You will have options, and
Yeah, I guess.
yeah, not everything is.
Yeah, I'm not used to options because of the Nidorf, right? I'm not,
Yeah, you need the optimal the optimal move every time. Um, E4 is positionally not bad. Actually, I think the move that is really a mistake is the next one, C5. Oh, that one hurt.
um,
um,
yeah,
like structurally, it's really bad. You leave D5 as a whole. I don't know what C5 is doing actually. I mean, why C5 in the first place?
yeah. It was stupid. Because when I look at it with the engine after, I'm like, so basically, I saw ghosts. Okay, I was scared of C5 and knight E6. But
Hmm.
yeah, the computer showed me that there was absolutely nothing for black to fear. Worst case scenario, we can just trade on E6 and play from there because, well, we have. I mean, you could argue that white has compromised pawn structures with the pawn on C4, and but I ruled out bishop takes E6. Like I'm like, why am I giving up a bishop for the knight? Um, but yeah, essentially I was scared of C5 and knight E6. And then I burned a lot of time on this too. So then I eventually just played C5 to block that pawn. And I think I might have been a bit influenced by the bird because the way I played the bird as white, I fianchetto was B3. And then when I get those double pawns, like, bishop takes C6 and like B takes C6, I often play C4 to fix black's pawn on C5. So I was influenced by that idea here. I know white doesn't have double pawns, but I was just trying to keep that pawn on C4. But yeah, it does come with many positional concessions, as you mentioned.
Yeah, if he plays, yeah, C5, you give up the D5 square. I wouldn't say your words. I don't know what's going on exactly, but he shouldn't get that. Of that, I'm pretty sure. Um, Now, yeah, C5, he will lose the pawn if he plays C5. Right? That pawn won't make it. Another move that makes a lot of sense to me is always knight A6. I mean, you get the knight to C5 with the win of a tempo. It's a great square, actually. It blocks the pawn on C4, and when you play A5, the knight is just stable on C5. It's an awesome piece. Um, Again, this is very much a thing in the King's Indian types of positions where the e5 and d4 pawns are exchanged. This maneuver of the knight to c5 is extremely common, and here it makes all the sense in the world. I mean, I don't know, castle, for example, knight c5, queen c2, a5. Well, probably here we will have to be a bit careful about rook d1 and 95 because I don't know what we do with the queen exactly, but maybe you can even deal with something like this. Bishop d7 just for the time being, and then c6. And I would probably just play c6 before any of this happens and just and just be safe. Um, but yeah, this is why working a little bit on positional decision making, so to speak, I mean, it pays off. It's not that you don't calculate well here. For example, at some point, you both miss a very simple tactic, but I think it has more to do with uh, with the fact that your position is extremely uncomfortable already, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of um, tough strategic decisions to make, and you play queen e8. But I think it's the overload, it's the time pressure, and everything that's coming together. So you miss knight
Oh,
c7,
right.
for
Yeah,
example.
yeah, yeah. I missed it
Yeah.
twice, I think. I think I missed it twice.
Yeah, at some point he plays 96, so you were more or less forced to. Yeah, at that point you were losing at
Mm.
least an exchange. Um, but here your opponent misses it too, but your position really went south, so it was much harder to deal with. Hmm. Here I was thinking you might have to capture, and well, this is always a problem. I want to play bishop e6, but um, queen takes b7 even hits the bishop on on e7, so it's annoying. But you have d3 for the knight. Maybe you can play bishop d6, and if bishop c3, you get a knight in there. Still a fight. After bishop c3, you went back. Um, yeah, here again, I think you have to get rid of the of some pieces and finish development. You can't afford to keep your pieces on the back rank anymore. Like capture the knight f4, play bishop e6, you must be all right. It's a shame because he has a monster of a bishop, he has a nice outpost on d5, like forever, but you're still pretty solid. I don't think this is such a nightmare position. Now maybe yes, because he gets full control of the d5, he has the better pieces, and well, um, and then it went south from here. But that was the point I wanted to make. I mean, a little bit. I think I also saw a game in which you played. I don't know if it was a knight or probably because you were playing the Sicilian with the black pieces, and you were debating whether you should play e5 or just keep it simple and play queen b6, something like that. And it took a lot of time. It took a lot of your time um,
I,
because of a similar thing. It wasn't the complexity of what you had to calculate, which you could totally handle. It was more about a thing of, well,
Perfectionism. It's
evaluation.
or yeah, and perfectionism. It's a big problem I have. It's like I could have two positions. You know, one is point two, and the other one is maybe it's point four, and I'm like, which one? Like, is this one better? And I it really doesn't matter if it's really like between point two, point four, and I'll spend so much of my time on the decision. It's something it's just so hard for me uh to not try to find the best move. It's a struggle.
Yeah. Well, you can think of it this way. Maybe there's not one. I mean, some positions, it's really hard to tell if a move is much better than the other. You can even run the engine extremely deep in very powerful hardware, and it might change its opinion for an entire day. Like you, you can leave this hardware running forever, and it might rank them close, and one surpasses the other. That means that pretty much both moves are reasonable. um, what's important is that you can see the difference and you understand what's different, what's the advantage of one over the other, basically. So that's one thing to think about during training. Like maybe focus also on positions where, well, positions that are a little bit more open-ended that you need to um, not necessarily find just a win, because these are the positions that you will have to deal with all the time. Um, it's not everything is like advantage realization technique. um, and then, well, maybe sometimes what helps is focusing a little bit too on things you might not have focused in maybe as much as other parts of your games of your game. For example, I saw you solving this endgame. I thought this was very interesting. It was maybe your last or the previous to the last stream. Um,
So you saw the you saw
and you were debating. Mhm.
sorry, you saw the stream of it, or did you see the game?
Oh no, I saw like the recording of the stream while you were solving this puzzle streak, and you got
Okay,
this position.
okay. Oh,
Yeah,
this was puzzle. This was not a game. No, this
you
was
got
a
no, it was a puzzle.
was it? Okay,
Yeah, you got
okay,
it
okay,
in puzzle streak.
okay.
Um, I think.
Yeah,
um, yeah, because you were debating, and you play the right move. A4 is the right move. The thing is, you were having trouble recognizing if this would actually win, and
mm,
you
mm.
basically forced it by calculation. Like you just
Yeah.
calculated it to the end.
The
Um,
Russian school, the brute force it.
exactly, exactly. Um, But that's interesting because this is the kind of position where some knowledge gets you very far. I see this position, I know it's a win, I don't need to calculate anything.
Mm.
Because of a simple rule that was mentioned in your chat.
Yeah, yeah.
In the
Vivek. Yeah,
yeah, he was. He saw if you get he said if you get to the seats rank, you
yeah,
win automatically, something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Yeah, the king on the seats always wins. That's the that's the rule. In king and pawn versus king endgame. So after it's changed, the black king well has zero mobility, so it won't stay around the pawn for long. He will eventually lose it. The thing is with the king in front of the pawn, when the king is on the seats, you win regardless of who wins the opposition or not. If it's white to play, well, you win simply with king a6. Finally, or with king c7 at this point, because king a7, you have b6 check and so
yeah.
on.
Because I remember now, I was almost thinking that there was some rule with a knight pawn. Am I mistaken? Is there any situation like pawn and king endgame with the knight pawn, or
Yeah. There are um, in other endgames, for example, rook,
mm,
knight pawn versus rook, a king and rook versus king, rook
oh,
and pawn.
that might be what it is.
It's easier it's easier to defend against the knight pawn because you don't
Uh,
even need to get the filial position. You can just sit passively with the rook on the back rank,
oh
and
yeah,
you
that's the back rank
yeah.
defense, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that works only against the rook pawn or the knight pawn. With the knight pawn, white can't the strong side can't make any
Okay.
kind of progress.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So this, but yeah, this
in
was just
this endgame, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
yeah. So as long as it's not a rook pawn, then the king on the sixth rank will always be a win,
Oh,
no matter what.
yeah. If it's in front of the pawn, yes. If it's in front of the pawn, that's very
Mm, mm,
important.
mm, mm.
Because let's say he gets the opposition back. All right, you move to the side. He keeps the opposition, but he loses it at the wrong time. That's the problem.
Mm.
So when he goes king b8, b7, you get the
Mm.
position you wanted, and he's in c12,
You know,
and you promote.
so Alessandro, this is. I think I would bet money that I've heard this rule before. I probably read it or heard about it before,
Mhm.
but I just forgot about it because I don't know because I don't know why, but this would be very useful for me because how much time do I waste? Yeah, trying to calculate all this.
Calculating.
And yeah, as you know, like king and pawn end games or any end game is so complex, and even with so few pieces, yeah, this would save a lot of time. And then
Yeah.
like once I know, then I don't have to worry. I can just get to that position, and then yeah, play from there. That would certainly save me.
Opening theory goes a long way because of that. There are all these aids to calculation that you can use. um, this this thing of the king um, winning on the seats rank, we can put it in a different way. There are some key squares. I don't know if you ever heard of the concept of key squares in this.
Oh, of course, of course. That was one of our very first lessons, and it's in Devretsky's endgame manual.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, for a pawn on the fifth rank, a pawn that crossed the
Yeah.
middle of the board, it's the three squares that are right in front of the pawn. So your king gets to
Mm.
any of those squares in front of the pawn on the fifth rank, and you win automatically. It doesn't matter if black gets the opposition or whatnot. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
a win.
Yeah. It's actually the
Whatever you.
I think it's the six squares. I think this is actually in my book.
Uh, yeah, yeah. Well, let's compare to the key squares for a pawn that's not as advanced.
Yeah. So here it would be d4, d4, e4, f4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These three. When the pawn has crossed the middle of the board, um,
The key squares,
well,
yeah, change.
the key squares change. Instead of being right in front of the, instead of being one rank apart, no, they're just the three squares right in front of the pawn. But for a pawn that's not that advanced, it's not the immediate three squares in front of it, but the next three. And this has huge applications across all these endgames. Well, you know the technique to win this one, I guess. If you have the white pieces, what will you do here?
God, this is terrifying, Alessandro, because going to the basic, it's so embarrassing if I get it wrong.
Oh, but you say it's the basics, and it's kind of true. But in the application, we're
Yeah.
going to see a couple of studies. They're so beautiful and not particularly easy, and
Mm.
all of this is at the root of those studies.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you should be able to win with either king d2 or king f2 because we're going to get to a key
mhm,
square regardless.
exactly. So why do the key squares win? That's the thing.
Well, because eventually, if like you can shoulder out the king, and then the like. Well, this is a bad example, but if we get to b7, for example, or sorry d7, then the king escorts the pawn on these three squares. So we kind of eventually we can shoulder out the king, and then just the pawn can run. Either that, or the king goes, the usual defense of going in front, and we'll get the opposition, and then again we'll get one of those key squares and escort the pawn up.
Exactly, exactly. Um, the best technique is always to push the king first. It's a bit counterintuitive, but the less advanced the pawn is, the better it is for white.
Yeah, like there's that.
Every time.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Hmm?
there's. I mean, I guess it's the same rule. It's really the same concept as the key squares. But another thing, like beginner guides will tell you, is if the king gets two squares above the pawn, that's an automatic win as well. But that's the same thing as the key squares.
Yeah, makes sense. Exactly. One important part of this, and that you will see a lot of people fail at, is that um, whenever you push the pawn, the key squares also move, and it makes them harder to catch with the king. If you play e3, now
Mm-hmm.
it's these three, and you will never get to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important to have in mind because you can easily ruin this endgame. Now, king d4 is the logical move to continue here because you win a position, and then the best technique is always to push him back. And only then at the end you move the pawn forwards. I mean, you get the king to the sixth rank, so you know you can just push the pawn. It doesn't matter if he recovers a position temporarily or not. The king is on the sixth, you win. Um, so let's go back a little bit. Let's say you don't play king after king d6. You don't play king d4. You play king e4. The reason why the key squares win is because this gap between the pawn and the king will always give you an extra move, a reserve tempo, you might say. If he wins the opposition, well, you can win the opposition back by pushing the pawn. and then you get into one of those two key squares again. This is the reason it's not one of these three. If you move the white king to e3 and the black king to e5, and it's white to move, you don't win. You will never get to the key squares. um, in this position, I mean. This is why these are not key squares. You don't win in every single situation. In this one, for example, you just don't win. You move to a side, the black king follows you around forever until you have to push the pawn, and then you get the simple king and pawn versus king draw. Um, so this is basically the reason why it's these three squares, not the three squares right in front of the pawn. You get that reserve tempo every single time, and you can start outflanking again and going for the same procedure to get your king to the sixth rank. The best technique is always to push the king first. Then you don't even need to think if you're pushing the pawn or who gets opposition or whatnot. It doesn't matter. You push e5, e4. Well, here you play e5 and it's black to move, so he has to step aside. If it was your move, it wouldn't really matter. Your king is on the sixth. You will play king f6, king f8, e6, king e8, e7. Black is in sub one, and you win anyway. Um, so, well, this just to refresh some knowledge of the of these king and pawn versus king endgames. Like, it has serious applications. Like sometimes you can just look at the position and know if you're winning. It really makes calculation easier. Um, Sorry, I meant this one. Okay, it's why to play. A little bit of a weird position. We're far from the pawn, but we win.
I hate these. Because they can be deceptive. Somebody in the chat says it's a draw. Or give me a second. It's got to be king a3. So we essentially. So first of all, we can't go. I mean, the most natural move is obviously king b3, but then black just follows suit and kind of shoulders us out from being able to get to one of the key squares. And if we go all the way to e3, then black again just follows us and has the opposition. So with king a3, if black then goes king b5 and we waddle over, then white will be the one with opposition. The only thing I have to make sure of is if there's somehow like king b6, but that won't change anything because we're either going to get to a key square or else black has to get in front. So it has to be king a3.
Very good. Yeah, you use opposition. That's the thing with Soxwan. You can't really undo this. This same position will transfer to the center and he will be losing opposition. You outflank and you get into one of the key squares. Yeah. So as you say, if the king goes back, even better. We get into b4, it's easier to get access to the key squares. And if he follows the path to the white pawn, we're always winning opposition one way or the other. Now we're trying to get to these two. He will stop us. But you win opposition one last time, and there's absolutely no way he stops you from coming to one of these two. If you had, as you said, if you had started with king b3, then he goes king b5, we would eventually get this same position, but with white to play. So no access to any of the key squares. But here with black to play, has to give way. Boom, we step onto a key square. And the nice thing about this is that you know it's a win, and then you
Mm.
just have to prove your technique. But for the purpose of calculating stuff, that's it. You don't need to go any deeper. Okay, why to play?
Uh, okay, I didn't look, but I can see out of the corner of my eye that there's a table base. So you should hide that. So I don't
Oh,
get. Yeah, I didn't.
how do I do
Yeah,
that?
I
Mm,
think, but I didn't look at it. I don't know if you can hide it, or I'll just disable my opening. But I don't know if you can hide the. I think you can. You can hide the. Yeah, so just hide the opening book, and then that'll remove the table base.
how do I disable it? I
Uh,
disable a couple of things.
yeah, you have to go to the settings of the study, not the
Mhm.
chapter setting, but the whole. There should be a
The
little.
whole chapter.
Yeah,
The whole,
there's.
yeah.
Yeah,
Open and explore and
yeah,
yeah.
you got it.
Um,
Okay,
all
yeah.
right.
Don't let me cheat.
Did
Yeah. Okay.
it work? This is
Well, let me see. Oh, yeah. I can't even. Yeah, it's gone. Okay.
okay.
Yeah, because I could see it off the corner of my eye. I don't want to. It's tempting, to look.
It pops up, yeah.
It's tempting. Okay. So white to move. Okay. So I think this is going to be one of those where we actually aim for A6 and not C6 because of weird geometry on the chessboard. So I'm immediately going to look at this path: King C2, King B3, and yeah. I mean, I'll get there in 5 moves, and he can't. I think he can. Okay, well, hang on. Let me just actually calculate. I mean, that's my instinct. That's my instinct because that's just I've seen these before. But let me brute force it here. So King C2, King E7, King B3, King D7, King A5, and if he goes King C7 and King A5, then already the best we can do is King B7, and then we have the opposition, and that's winning. And I think so. The reason it doesn't work if we try to aim for C6 is King C2, King E7, King C3, and if King D5 and King C4, Black has the opposition with King C6, and going B5 doesn't work because he's just in front of the pawn, King, or he can go back even. Yeah, so we go the long route essentially. We go to A6. It's kind of weird, like visually, it doesn't really make sense why you want to go to A6, but somehow it works. Like the chessboard geometry is weird.
Exactly. It's the same distance. Like, it looks longer to
Yeah,
go to A6, but it's the same amount of moves. So
yeah, yeah,
it's 5 moves in every case. Yeah. Same thing happens in the Reti endgame, in which you have to cut
yeah,
the pawn from behind. I mean, the straight line
yeah,
looks closer, but it's not. I mean, if you
yeah.
zigzag,
Yeah,
it's the same again.
I think if he later did another puzzle like that, Rady did. I forget if it was the next year or it might have been a few years later, and that one is just as interesting. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Um,
It's the same
it,
exact
it,
idea.
yeah, but there
There's
are pawns, black pawns on F6, G7, and H6, and
there's
you
3
have to capture
pawns.
G7. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that one is just as beautiful to me because that one almost looks more incredible. That yeah, yeah,
Yeah, his that well that it's interesting because it became a study theme. I mean, there are incredible compositions with the same idea, even with more pieces. There's one with pawn bishop
mm.
and you play the same idea, which is totally insane.
Yeah.
But
For
it
me,
works.
generally, like I hate compositions because they're so situational, but I actually like the ones that are very simple like that, like with very few pieces on the board. I love those. But just I like the simplicity. Then the more simple they are, the more beautiful they are to me. So yeah, I mean that's literally I think the most famous composed puzzle is Reti's, or it's like one of the
Mhm.
top three, right?
Well, Redis are great because Redis made a lot of compositions, and they are all well. They look like regular chess games with just a couple of pieces. I mean,
Mm,
there are positions that can totally happen in a game,
mm.
which makes them more attractive, I think. Um, so yeah, here you have to aim for the square that's farther away from the black king, because if you try to go through c4, yeah, king c6 blocks your path. But here, once you get to a5, you're threatening to go king a6, which will instantly end it there. So he has to play king b7, and you win the opposition, outflank, get to one of those two squares, win. Um,
Oh, trebuchet. Oh, but well, it's not. Well,
uh,
it's a type of
it,
trebuchet, but normally trebuchet. No, yeah, trebuchet has two pawns. This is a trebuchet. Well, it can also have one pawn.
it could get there, but for that purpose, black should run his king to c4, and we should run our king to e5. Now it will depend. It's white to play, so he's way faster. My question is this endgame a win or a draw?
I'm so bad at figuring these out quickly, and I have a bad memory. I played in a tournament, over the board tournament, and I played the opening terribly. Like for some reason, I it's an opening I played a million times before.
Mhm.
And anyways, I blundered in the opening, and then I fought, and then in the end game, I came back and I had like this type of position, but I only had like 10 seconds on the clock, and then I screwed it up, and I lost, and that sucked. So yeah, this is painful for me. Yeah, so basically this is all about mind squares. So and I think we take like a scenic route again. I think it's so like king f4, and then we go to f5. I think. So let me think. So king f4, say king c6, yeah, and then king f5. Or we could possibly even go then sorry. So king f4, if king c6. Kind of interesting. I could almost go king f5, king f6, and then king e5, because I have to take the pawn while reserving, um, like getting the opposition. I can't just take the pawn and let black get the opposition. So that has to be factored in as well. So king f4, king c6. Yeah. So if I immediately go to king, I think this is a trick. I think if I go to king e5, then he has king c7, where I can't take the pawn because you get the opposition. So if he does go king c7, he actually already has the diagonal opposition there. Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking we might need to go to king f5. So king f4, king c6, king f5, and then if king d6, king f6, and if king c7, then I can go king. Does it matter? If I go king e6, yeah. Then we go king e6. It matters because we have to stop him. I think. Wait. So hang on. So he's on c6. I'm on d6. So I go king d6. Yeah. It's important so that he can't. No, that's still okay. Yeah. So then he goes king c7. No, wait. That's the same thing. That doesn't work. But
You
then.
figure out. Yeah, no, you figure out. Yeah, no, you're right. It's a draw. There's absolutely no
Oh,
way.
okay.
Um,
I'm glad you stopped me
but
there, so I don't spend 5 more hours on it.
no, but it's good, but because you understood the reason immediately. what all you need to know with black is, okay, when he captures the pawn d5, which is inevitable at this point because white is definitely invading, I have to play king d7. And white has no other way of making progress. I mean, it's either you take the pawn on d5 or we keep shuffling the kings
Mhm.
forever. So when he takes on d5, you will just need to play king d7. That's a theme of corresponding squares. I mean, that the
Mhm.
typical thing you think about in these game games. Okay, when the king gets there, my king needs to be able to go to that square. So I get opposition. So um, so I get whatever goal it is that you're trying to achieve. But we're almost always thinking in terms of sets of squares. D5 and D7 are crucial here. So yeah, you are going to win opposition. The black king is a little bit worse. So even if he wants to keep it close, you still invade through g5 because e5 is not available for the king. He can't cross over there, and then his own pawn gets in the way too. So he will start retreating, and you will close into the pawn. And you can delay losing the pawn for a little while, but at some point you will lose contact with it. But the important thing is that you can play king c7 and just hover around the d7 square until white captures this pawn. King e5, you can play king c6, you can play king c8, you can play king d8, you can play whatever, but the second he captures, you need to be able to play king d7. And just because of the theme of the key squares and opposition, you know it's a draw. So looking at this position, this is the important thing I think about this endgame, is that you basically know it's a draw from here, because even if you drop the pawn on d5, you play king d7, draw. Like there's no
Mhm.
progress to be made. It's comforting. Like you don't need to calculate any long or complicated variations, um, which is, of course, very comfortable. Yeah, I just show you this because I guess it's useful just to see how this benefits you. Like it's white to play now. What's the difference?
Well, there's one less rank for him to go back, but in the previous example, I don't know if he went back two ranks. D- uh,
This one?
yeah, I don't think black had to go back two ranks. So
Oh no,
that's
it's not necessary. I was just to show that pretty much anything draws, as long as you get to play king. Sorry, around here. If white
mhm.
keeps just moving the king around, all you're going to do with black is stay in touch with d7, but never actually go there. So yeah, you can play king c6 or king c7. The important thing is that you don't go to d7. For example, king d8. Not necessary, maybe, but white can't make progress if he doesn't take the pawn. So if he keeps moving around the pawn, we will always move around the d7 square, never actually go there. For example, if white tries to trick us, we're not going to go king d7, losing opposition and then allowing him into one of the key squares. We're just going to play king c7 or king d8, anything until he captures the pawn. And then we go to this end. We know these sets of squares is what we call corresponding squares. If he goes there, I need to go there. And white thinks the same way. If the black king goes here, I'm happy to capture and win the opposition. But it's never going to happen. I mean, white is the one who needs to make progress. So at some point, he will have to take the pawn, and we can wait forever until he does it. And we play king d7. So as long as we don't play king d7, we'll be fine. The second white captures, you go to d7 and just get the draw. Yeah, I know it's a bit more like visually comfortable to be playing king c7, king c6, and king back to c7. It's maybe easier. um, but the important thing is not to step on d7 at the wrong time. Um, and then you have this position, which is the same one, but one rank move to the top, which means what?
Wait. I know the answer. I know the answer. I put up my hand. um, It's because it's the very first thing you said in this lesson. It's the king goes to sixth rank. So if we can win the pawn, that's an automatic win. Game over. We don't think beyond that.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to calculate like the 10 or 12 or 15 moves that you need to win this game. No, it's just a win. I mean, as long as you know you're winning this pawn, it's over. Whatever black does with your position doesn't matter. It's irrelevant with the king in front of the pawn on the sixth rank, the king
Yeah,
in on the sixth
I
rank.
don't know how this rule eluded me because I treat these rules like pure gold because there's not that many of them honestly in chess. Yeah, so like there's what I always call them Dvoretsky pawns. That's again from his book, his Endgame Manual. When either if there's two pawns versus a rook, and if there's a pawn on the seventh rank and a pawn on the fifth rank, or if they're both on the sixth rank side by side, and if the rook can't immediately capture one of them, then one of them will always promote. And that so rules like that I love so much because just like the king on the sixth rank, yeah, it saves you. It's like a shortcut. It saves you so much mental anguish because you know the outcome. And so this king on the sixth thing, again, this is like one of the most basic things you learn in chess. You probably learn it within like the first 2 weeks of playing chess. And I don't know, maybe that's why I didn't know it or I forgot about it because I knew how to play chess as a kid. And then I came back as an adult and then I kind of skipped a lot of the basic stuff. Right. So yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, these little bits of knowledge really help. Imagine you have a transition to the endgame and you have to calculate it. It's tough enough to see the positions, to see this position, but when you're trying to transition into a winning king and pawn endgame, calculating the transition and then figuring out if the position you're actually getting is a win or not, that's a chore. If you know, okay, I'm getting this position, I play king f5, yeah, I'm getting to the pawn, I win. I don't have to think about it anymore. You can make the evaluation right here. You don't have to keep trying to calculate till the very end, and that's great. um, and you clearly read your Debretzky, so this position is in there.
Oh yeah, but I
And
didn't memorize the book though. It's a big book. These are so hard though. Like again, deceptively, they're so deceptive.
this
But
study,
I think this is also one of the King G1, King H1 ideas.
something like that. Yeah, this study, the first time I saw it, blew my mind. I actually saw it in a book by Karpov, my favorite composition, something like that. At least in
What?
Spanish, it's translated like that.
Wait. What did you say?
Uh,
What? Karpov? Karpov
yeah,
made this
yeah,
one?
it's an old Karpov book.
It's from
No,
a
I saw
book.
this in an old Karpov book
Oh,
about
okay.
studies that he liked.
Oh, okay.
um, yeah, and it blew my mind because it's so counterintuitive. It's why to play and win.
I'm just going to first of all calculate what I think I remember, which is King G1, King H1, not King H2. So I'm just going to look at that. But then I also remember something weird. Wait, yeah. So hang on. Let me step back. There's a lot to consider. So first of all, I do have to get rid of his pawn, obviously, and I have to take it with my king. Okay, so let's say King G1, King D7. And I'm just going to start with King H1. Okay, I'm just going to start with King H1, King E6, let's say, King H2, let's say King F5, King H3. And if if king g5, already this looks not good though, but king g5, then I can play. Oh, wait. Oh, I don't know if I can ever play. I can't. This is where it gets tricky because I can't play g3 because he can always give away his pawn. Then he can play h4. And if he plays
Yeah, he probably
h4,
doesn't even need to like. He defends the pawn. You're not even better. I mean, you're just
yeah,
like king and pawn versus king and pawn. Yeah.
yeah, that's a pawn because it's a rook pawn. Because I have a g pawn, I can never take his pawn ever. And if I don't take his pawn, he's going to take my pawn. I mean, the best I could do there is like g4 if he plays h4.
Yeah,
So
it's going to end like that. Yeah.
There's one. Okay, I'm thinking of another puzzle which is really weird, where you go and you kind of. It's so weird though, but I don't. It wouldn't. Oh, okay, it wouldn't apply here. There's no way it would apply here. But there's a puzzle where you kind of go like this direction, and then you kind of go and you outflank kind of behind the king. But I can't ever imagine that working here because, I mean, if his king gets in front, I just can't imagine that. So oh god, yeah, these can be very tricky. I also okay, give me,
Your plan is actually to go and capture the black pawn. The problem is how.
okay. I think we have to. I mean, our hope, our goal, maybe not our goal, but it would be lovely if we could shoulder out that king. But we seem to be far away from doing that. Let me say king e2. I want to shoulder him out. I want to bump him out. So king e2, king d7, and I'm going to say king e3. I'm just going to say king e3, king e6. And if I go king f, it's always tricky though, because you can always push the pawn. But yeah, if I go king f4, king f5, I have a reserve tempi there. G3, but then it's already tricky again, because then he can go h4, maybe.
Yeah, or he can just play king g6. I mean, if he
Yeah.
gets in touch with his pawn, you never win anymore. Yeah. It's not king and pawn versus king. It's king and pawn versus king and pawn. And yeah, it's true drawish.
I've seen this before. I mean, yeah, I know it's a weird solution. I know that. It's not straightforward. It's almost like I don't think it's this position, but I know another puzzle where, yeah, there's a puzzle I've seen before where it's something like king g1, and then you go like king f1, or it's something really bizarre like that. But that's not this one. That's a different puzzle. Okay, give me a second. Still, I want to. Yeah, because I'm even imagining situations where I somehow outflank him and get him to go to the h4, and the king gets closer in. But then that's just going to be a draw. I mean, even if I go check, he can just go king h3. So even that, even if I get that, that doesn't do anything.
Now everyone is going towards the opponent's pawn. If you go to the queen side, he will go after your g2 pawn.
Yeah.
He
Well,
won't waste time. And there's nothing on the queen side, so to think of a path to go eat the pawn. If you don't eat the h pawn, you don't win. That's the thing.
Yeah. Hello, Mega. Yeah, this is from Davrotsky's Endgame Manual. But I think it predates. I think it predates that as well, because the Karpov book has. Because the Karpov book had to have been before Endgame Manual. Endgame Manual was like 90s.
But this is a very old study. I mean, the study is from 1952, so
okay,
it predates even the other.
Who was? Do we know the composer?
Oh, the composer is Matisse. Oh no, this one is Moravec.
Okay.
I'm confusing it with the other puzzle that I put there, which is even older. Um,
I mean, G3's interesting in the sense that we can control F4, but it does take a move. And again, no, then he just plays H4. I mean, that's the annoying thing. Oh, um, okay, well then let me try the
yeah,
most
it's
direct.
also
Let me try the most direct route, right? Which is King F2, the most obvious move. Even though my instinct was King G1, just because it's a puzzle. So, so okay, let me try the most obvious move. So King F2, King D7, King. Oh, maybe, but it may not be King G3. Maybe it's King F4 there. So King F2, King D7, King G3, and if King E6, if King F4, there's King F6. And that's already a dead end. That's got to be a dead end. Okay, so King F2, King D7, King G3, King E6, King H4. Maybe is it just a simple solution? It can't be though. King H4. Yeah, why can't I just do
you
that
win the
then?
pawn on the game.
So
Yeah, King F2. It's the first move.
I should have just went with the most obvious. I do that when I calculate too. Like I always go for weird, obscure lines instead of the most obvious line. I don't trust it to
Yeah,
be
no, it's
the.
better to look for the most obvious line and then
Yeah,
try to see what fails, if
yeah.
anything, because Black won't play King D7 and he loses the pawn and you keep the G pawn, he loses. I mean, you're even surpassing the key squares by taking on H5, so it's a very easy win. So Black will play a tricky move, H4,
Oh, maybe
to
this is
kill his
where.
own pawn
Oh,
for.
yeah. So there's okay. This is why. Okay, and now I think it's King G1 because okay. The
Now it's
difference
King G1.
here though is in this position, the pawn is closer to us, and so oh yeah, I think this even yeah, and so the key squares have moved on that pawn as well, and we can get to it's the inverse of that. We've shrunk the key square now because we can once we take the pawn, we're immediately on one of the key squares. So we kind of
Yeah,
invite him to spend a move where we can then get to a key square. If I had
he's
taken it
not
on
getting
a
to his pawn.
yeah yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, what if why not King F3? What is the problem with that one?
I just H3. I think
H3.
H3. If G3, well, then his king comes in. I think.
Yeah. The problem is your king will be really badly placed. If you want to win, you have to keep the pawn on the G file and then go take care of the H pawn. But you don't really have a clear way. If you play G3, your king can't really reach the pawn. I mean, you'll have to make a million moves. Um, well, you can't do it from here naturally. The pawn will just escape. So he will just start bringing the king in, and he will easily get in front of the g pawn. And if you go g4, well, unfortunately, you push your pawn too far, and now the key squares
Mm,
are completely out
mm,
of reach.
mm,
King d7, king g3, king e6. Well, it's actually black is right on time to deny you uh, from invading. So instead of going king f3 and getting your king in an awkward position, looking at it from the top, you play king f2 to draw this pawn to h4. If not, you
mm,
just get
mm,
there too fast. So um, the little pawn here becomes a kamikaze, and he's trying to sacrifice
mm,
itself just to give you an h pawn that will never win. And then you go back, which
mm.
looks insane. You did this maneuver,
Yeah.
just losing time. But there's no time. I mean, if king d7, king h2, king e6, sorry, but the pawn is too far away. With the pawn h5, he managed to get to
Mm.
g6. Now he's right. You're right on time to capture it on the key square, and you win. So black is gonna try one last trick. It's gonna play h3. Okay, I'll give it away right now before before the king captures it on the appropriate square. So
Uh,
now what?
okay, just because this is a puzzle, it's got to be G3 and not G4 because because it's got to be a weird looking move, I would think. Um,
And now that we know that what we know,
yeah, because
yeah.
we want to keep the key squares as close to the king as possible. If it go G4, then suddenly the key squares are on F6, G6, and H6, which is harder for the king to get to.
Exactly. Exactly. So now with what we know about this endgame, G3 is actually the natural move. So we don't have the key square so far removed. After all, I mean, this pawn is dead, but then our race is going to be to get to one of these three. If it was one of these three, it would be, well, way harder. And, well, then king e7. Now it looks like one of the puzzles we went through. There we go. King f5, but you just edge him there because you're getting into h5. He has to stop you, but king g4, opposition, and we know that we get there, we win. uh, no, it's very beautiful. Like you see the initial position, and it looks so simple, but
Yeah,
it
if you
couldn't be
don't,
farther from.
yeah, if you don't know about, if you don't know the basic, king and pawn endgame, and you don't know about the key squares or opposition, then even when you know the solution of the puzzle, it doesn't make any sense, right? So you need to know the underlying fundamentals to understand the puzzle.
Exactly. It's beautiful because it can be so complicated just with a couple of pawns on the board. That's what I love about chess too. It
Mm.
can be incredibly simple, but it never is. I mean, even a king and pawn versus king and pawn endgame can have its secrets and be really complicated. And it requires a lot of prior knowledge to really fully know what's actually going on. um, yeah. um, well, I put one more in here. I don't know if we
uh,
want to do this
y-
one or we
y-
leave it for. Oh no.
I've yeah. This is also in Dvoretsky's endgame manual. Uh,
You recognize it?
yeah, I recognize it, but I mean, I don't remember the solution. It's white to move, I presume.
Yes.
I
And
This one
it's funny,
almost.
but you're trying to save yourself.
Oh, so we're just trying to draw here. Yeah,
You're held by a pawn, but you're
I
trying to save
almost,
yourself.
I almost think this one. I mean, it's probably not because we didn't talk about it, but I almost think this one has to do with distant opposition. Um,
Mm, true. Well, yeah, sort of. Yeah, you could say that.
so if it's black to move here, he's threatening to go to G4. Um,
Mhm.
so I'm just looking at G6 first. If black doesn't take the pawn, then, well, he has to take the pawn. Um,
Mm.
he has to take the pawn. So that's forcing. So I like looking at those moves first. So G6, F takes G6. Um, I I don't know how that's really going to help me though. uh, I don't know. I don't know how that would help me, but I'm still going to look at it anyways. And then so if I go King G2, uh, then there's, well, it does, one thing it does do is it makes his pawn farther up, which in turn makes the key squares harder to get to, but his king is so well placed already. So G6, F takes G6, King G2, King G4. Um, If I for some reason go f5, and if he takes with the pawn, then suddenly the key squares are looking a little elusive for him. If I go king f2, no. Yeah, no, he's going to win that because king f2 and then there's king f4, he wins. Okay, so this might be the totally wrong approach anyways with g6, but yeah, g6, f takes g6, king f2, and then yeah, king f4. So I looked at pushing last time, so that doesn't look to work. And so if I, no, wait, hang on one second. No, that just has to be winning for black, that position, because his king's, yeah, his king is already on key square, and he's going to get the other pawn, and he's 2 squares in front of the pawn. So that does not work. G6 does not work. Okay, so then, well, let's look at, okay, I know it's weird. Well, you told me to look at the most natural move, so I won't calculate e5 next, even though I want to. So let me look at king f2. Okay, so king f2, king f4,
king g2.
Sorry. King g2, king g4, and then I wonder, could I then go g6, f takes g6? I don't really see that's a transposition. That's a transposition. So that doesn't work because that's the same exact position. Okay, so I'm going to circle back to e5 as a first move. So e5. Sorry. F5, king takes king takes g5. But that also, oh, hang on, but there's something interesting there. Then what if I go f6, king takes f6, no, that's okay. I don't know. None of the, it's white's move and draw, hey?
White draws, yeah. If it's true, if you do nothing, black's plan is pretty simple. King g4, king takes f4, king takes g5, and he captures on a key square. So your 2 pawns are dead. he has the king on a key square, and that's it. And what you said at the beginning is right. This pawn is too far back. So if he eliminates your pawns, you're dead. he will always be on a key square or even ahead of those. Um, so your first move was correct. G6. You absolutely need to sack. You need to sack the pawns. To draw his pawn closer so that the key squares are removed from his king, and well, you may get your king in front of the pawn more easily, denying access to the key squares. So g6. If he captures with the king, it becomes really simple. You play king g2, king f5, king f3. You even defend the pawn. You're not even worse anymore. So for that matter, g6, f takes g. But here you concluded that g6 didn't work because you only looked at king g2. But there's more. Apart from king g2, what else could it be?
Oh, yeah. Then e5. If G takes e5, then we can stop him from getting to the key squares. Then okay. So let me just start from the beginning. So g6, f takes g6, e5. Sorry. F5. I'm looking at the right move in my head, but my mouth doesn't listen. Yeah. Then F5, and G takes F5, and King F2, and if King G2, and if King G4.
You lose a position.
Yeah. Wait. What went wrong there? Boom, 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 boom. Could it not? Is it not? Yeah. Okay. That doesn't work. Okay. So it's not F5. Okay. So G takes. F takes G6. and it's not king g2.
I'm looking at f5, g takes f. His pawn is on f5 now. You only try king
Wait,
g2,
wait, wait,
which
wait, wait,
loses
wait. His
opposition.
pawn's on f5? No, what? You mean
You were looking at g6,
yeah,
f takes g, then
yeah,
f5, g takes f.
yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
sacrifice the 2 pawns.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. And
yeah. But then I thought
then
that's
you have
just
to avoid losing the opposition.
yeah. So that king g2, king g4.
Yeah, but king g2 is not mandatory. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah, right. Okay, so you wanted you. So we're looking at the line where I don't have any pawns, right? Where I play f5. Okay.
Exactly. You sacrifice the two
Oh,
pawns.
um. Oh, I guess I can just go king h2 and then I can get the opposition. It's wait,
The
sorry.
position
No,
is
his king is still on eight. No, no. Okay. So okay. Through process of elimination, so it has to be king g1, and then no matter where the king if the king goes to h4, then I can go king h2. If the king goes to the corresponding squares, if the king goes to g4, then we have king g2. If he pushes the pawn again, if he goes f4, then I just go in front of the pawn. Well, sorry, no, where am I? I'm on king g1. So if he goes f4, well, I still just go in front of the pawn. I just go king f2.
exactly. And if he goes king g5,
Let me start over here. So after king g1, king g5, you say like that?
yeah, trying distant
Oh yeah,
opposition,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
king
So
g5.
so then we it's not distant opposition, it's rectangular opposition, which
Mm.
although technically rectangular
No, they're on
opposition.
the same file. Yeah, they're on
Oh
the same
right,
file.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, because rectangular opposition by definition, both corners of the rectangle have to be the same color. So
But
yeah,
they are on different files. Yeah.
yeah. Although even that doesn't make sense because this is technically a rectangle, but the corners are not the same. Oh no, yeah. Then you go here. You need to go in the same color as.
No, because it's
No.
not rectangular. If you go king f2, king f4, and you lose opposition again. This is distant opposition with the kings on g1 and g5 because there's
Yeah,
an odd number of squares between the two kings on the same file.
yeah.
Uh,
What I was trying to
though,
say is that like like in a square like or a rectangle like this would if the kings were like this would be rectangular.
yeah, it's
Or you want to get into
it
rectangular
exists,
opposition. But I'm
but
just
it does not
wondering.
apply
I'm
here.
just wondering about this. I know that this is a. Let me just go here for an example. This would not. This. I wonder how you would classify this because this is not technically. This would not be rectangular opposition because the corners are not the same color. You know what I mean?
No, no, yeah. It'll be more like what you said, this rectangle.
Yeah, yeah. So I wonder what this would be because this is not. I guess it's the. I guess it's probably what the end destination is, and then if you go here, then it's so this would be distant opposition. So that's probably how you
They're on
classify
the
it.
same file.
Yeah, so it's probably the end destination, and then when you do this, if you like moving a king here and his king is here, then that would be rectangular.
You win
Yeah,
opposition.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there you
So
win your
okay,
rectangular
so it's
position.
probably
Yeah.
defined by the resulting move where you get into it. So that's why this would probably classify as distant opposition. Okay, sorry. So getting back here,
Here you have very direct one, like on the same file after king
oh yeah, so
g5.
you were saying king
You're
g5.
trying
Yeah,
to
yeah. So then there, yeah. Where am I now? I am on f1.
king g1.
Yeah, so I just go king
No,
g1.
you play
Oh,
king g1, he play king g5.
oh,
Yeah,
okay,
he's
okay.
keeping distant opposition
Yeah,
for
then
now.
I go. Oh well, yeah. Then I go king f2. Where's his pawn?
No, because he wins.
Yeah. Where's his? I thought his pawn is here. is on f4.
No,
His pawn's on f5.
we sacrifice the 2 pawns, g6 and
No,
f5, and
his
he
pawn,
takes most of them.
his pawn's on f5.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was an f4. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, I remember now. His pawn's on f5. The king's on g5. My king is on g1, and so my king's on g1, and he just went king g5. Okay.
Mhm.
I think it's king h1.
But he's gonna get here. I mean, he's gonna rush to e3, king f4, king e3, and he gets to a key
Oh,
square
okay.
of the pawn on
Yeah,
f5.
okay. Because I was thinking I have king h2 for distant opposition, which is true, but that doesn't matter because the key squares supersede the opposition. Okay.
The thing, opposition is just a means to an end. The strong side wants to win a position to
Yeah.
outflank and invade your position, and the defender wants to keep the king away from certain areas.
Oh,
You can win a position on a completely irrelevant place, and it won't really matter.
yeah. By the way, guess who just joined? The guy who was the talk of the beginning of the lesson, Vivek, just joined. So
Oh.
yeah, yeah. So for anyone that joined the stream late, this lesson kind of was revolved around my puzzle that I did yesterday when I didn't remember that the king on the 6th rank is, with king and pawn is an automatic win if the king's in front of the pawn. And so, which Vivek mentioned in the previous stream. And yeah, there's currently nine live viewers on YouTube and 3 on Twitch right now. Okay, sorry. So let me think again. So right now, black has a pawn on f5. We have no pawns. Black just played king g5, and I have a pawn on. Sorry, and my king is on g1, and yeah. So then I have to go king f1.
Good. Good. He can't keep it going because there's a pawn on f5, so he can't keep the distant opposition. What you're basically doing is you're keeping in touch with the corresponding squares. If he plays king g4, you want to play king g2 and win the opposition. If he plays king f4, you want to play king f2 and win the opposition. And he can't keep it going because there's a pawn on f5. He can't play king f5. So whatever he does, he's not winning the opposition. He's not getting to the key squares. It's funny, but this puzzle is quite hard, I have to say, even though there are not that many pawns. If you understand this thing about the key squares, you will be worried. I mean, he will play king g4, king takes f4, king takes g5. You lose. If the king gets rid of those 2 pawns and he keeps this one the initial position, that's it. So white starts giving them away. Just to make them come closer. If king takes, yeah, the king just gets too fast there. You're not even better anymore. That's a trivial draw, we could say. But if f takes, you have the same problem. King g4, g2, king g4. He's threatening to win this pawn on a key square for this one. And if you sacrifice it here, it's not great timing. He takes with the pawn or with the king. I'm going to erase that variation. And he wins opposition, and he will get into one of these 2, which are key squares for the f5 pawn. So you have to be careful with timing here. You need to give the pawn up right now when he needs to take with the pawn, but you are not losing opposition. Now, it becomes a matter of corresponding squares. You know that when he goes king g4, you want to play king g2 and win opposition. When he goes king f4, you want to play king f2. So the only way to keep in touch with both f2 and g2 is to play king g1. King h2 loses to king h4. As in that puzzle you did with king a3 instead of king b3 at the beginning, well, it's very similar.
Yeah.
yeah, looks
Yeah,
more intuitive to go to G4, but
yeah, this is, I mean, really, King G5 is Black's best to try here, I feel.
yeah, after King G1, you stay in touch with this square. So if he plays King G4, you're going to G2. King G5 keeps distant opposition, 3 squares, odd number of squares between the two kings.
Mhm.
He's trying to make it into close opposition. And that's the one and only goal of long or distant opposition. They transform it into short opposition or close opposition and then outflank again.
Yeah,
But we're not going to let him because we have king of one.
and then if you want to go one step further, that's where you can do rectangular opposition, which tries to get to distant opposition and then to direct opposition.
Yeah, that one you use less, I think. I mean, endgames, it's quite difficult to
Yeah.
find even distant opposition,
Mm,
but the other one, yeah,
yeah.
appears, seldom appears.
Mm-mm.
um, in fact, you can't really use it in any situation because you need to be very much aware of what the goal of your opposition is. For example, if it was white to play here and you play king e1 because you want to keep some rectangular position, you lose to king g4.
Right. Yeah.
He's threatening to go into g3, forcing you to play king f2, and he wins opposition. Uh, yeah. So if you were to play again here, you'll have to play king g1,
Mm.
just waiting until he goes to one of those two squares to face him, which will happen. King g4, king g2, and draw. Yeah, out of a few simple concepts, you can see that you can find your way in extremely complex situations because this endgame is not easy. Imagine playing this game, being here and figuring out, okay, I have to give away those 2 pawns and then draw like this. It's not easy, but the underlying concepts are not that hard, which is interesting.
Yeah, and usually when you're in an end game, you don't have much time. Whether that's over the board, even in a classical time control,
Mm-hmm.
you usually because just the way it works out, you normally don't have much time even over the board. So that's where it's really really useful to know these short mental shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I have studied most of these before, but it's been so long. Refreshers don't hurt at all. And the whole king on the six, again, it's kind of embarrassing that I don't know that inside and out, but it's one of those things. I mean, it's interesting. Like even Magnus, he doesn't know about he actually doesn't know most of these techniques. Like he actually did not know the rule of the square. Did you know that? He didn't know
Just
about that.
calculate.
Yeah. He just knew intuitively. He just knew because he like John Bartholomew was quizzing him on that that famous book 100 Endgames You Must Know. So there's a video, if anyone wants to watch that, there's a video on YouTube where John Bartholomew is just quizzing him some random puzzles. Yeah, and then he asks like Magnus, like, do you know about this technique? He's like, no, I don't know. He doesn't know rule of the square. He doesn't know most of them, but he just knows, intuitively. So, it's kind of
by name. He's probably seen like thousands and thousands of endgames where you use this, but maybe not by name or who invented it or something like that.
But even the technique, he didn't know about he didn't know about like the draw a
drawing
triangle. Yeah, he didn't know. He can just see it and he just knows.
I get there. That's it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I probably because he just as a kid he didn't learn that, and then he was already so strong before he even had to learn those techniques. But it's kind of funny, yeah. But then he knew some of them like that, the Bears rule, which I did a separate video on.
Oh yeah, the one with the rook pawns and an extra pawn on the other flank. Yeah, that's very useful.
Yeah. Well, this lesson was useful again. Again, a bit embarrassing because it's so fundamental, but fundamentals are very important. And The fact is, I
Yeah.
struggled on that one puzzle, or maybe not struggled, but I spent way longer on it than I should have. I should have been able to solve that in like 2 seconds instead of like 20 or 30 seconds or however long it is I spent on it. That's something that you need. I should have just known instantly. So, and it will save me a lot of time in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, all of those bits of knowledge in the end game are shortcuts too. Well, you always have to calculate, but if you know this stuff, it's just so much easier.
Yeah. It's too bad that there's not some of those things like in the middle game or opening, but that's just, I think, pretty much impossible. There's only like those few little like geometric ideas, like a pawn. If your pawn is here and their knight is here, it kind of dominates the knight, or the bishop, or sorry, like the knight here and the bishop here. But otherwise, there's not
Way
really.
less conclusive. Yeah, there's too much
Yeah,
going on.
yeah. But yeah, there's really not those. Unfortunately, it's all in the end game, right? All those little mental shortcut calculation tricks are all in the end game. Yeah, because you don't
Yeah,
have
where
to.
you can actually exhaust all the variations to the end and really, really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't want to use up more of your time. You already went more time than
That's
we.
fine.
Yeah. And it's late there. It's what, midnight? No, past midnight. One? Is
Oh,
it
yeah, it's
one?
one more.
Oh my God! Yeah. Oh, that's
1 a.m.
good. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah,
No
yeah.
worries.
Thank you for being generous with your time again. It was nice to have another lesson with you. And yeah, I'll put this up on YouTube as a separate video as well. So if anyone, yeah, wants to watch it. By the way, are you accepting new students if anybody wants to hire you? Or
Yes,
okay.
yes, I still am.
Okay, yeah. So I guess maybe you could, if anyone wants to like a lesson from Alessandro, you could probably just message him on Chess, or maybe even through YouTube. So he has a YouTube channel as well, which I gave him a hard time about before we went live, because I'm like, why aren't you posting new videos? And I think it's because he burned himself out, because he was fast and furious with the videos in the beginning, and I thought he might burn himself out, because like every day I see a new video, I'm like, oh my God, you can't keep that pace up. But
Said and done, yeah.
Yeah. So, but he's got what, maybe 2 or 3 dozen videos on his channel. So you can see it up there. Is the if anyone wants to check it out and subscribe. Yeah, I'll let you go and go to bed. And the good news is we have another couple lessons lined up. So stay tuned for that. Okay, I'll let you go, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks a lot, Tyler.
Okay, bye.
See you in a week.
Yeah,
Bye bye.
I'm still here, by the way. I'm just shutting down some of the technical stuff in the background to make all that happen. So I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back. Okay. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. So anyone that's relatively new to my stream, I used to have regular lessons with Alessandro, but I've been broke lately and busy, mostly broke, and so I haven't done lessons with him for a long time. Yeah, maybe at least a year. And before that, I had a few, and then before that, it was like a year and a half. So it's been a while. But as I mentioned, I have more lessons with him lined up. So I think we're probably going to do every Tuesday. So next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time will be the next live lesson. So we have 9 viewers on YouTube right now and 2 on Twitch. I'm not going to do Puzzle Streak today because I just spent like 2 hours on the lesson. So I'm just going to start with a game. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the lesson, Jerome. And yeah, hello everybody in the stream. I don't know if Andy is still here or Mega, Vivek, Jerome. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if everybody's still here. I mean, people might have left when they might have thought it was the end of the stream, but it's not. Okay. Whoops. Okay, Jerome is still here, he says. Okay, time for a game. Yeah, I had a busy day today. Ooh, it's a new account. I can unplug this actually. Oh man, yeah, there's so much technical setup required to multi-stream on Twitch and YouTube, and then do a live kind of call with somebody else and have their video show up, and then have him see my video. I have a second webcam for that. I almost want to go bishop a3 here. There's c5 though. Okay, let's not overthink it too much. As soon as I say that, yeah, what am I going to do here? I guess he's going to have to play knight gf6 at some point, probably next move. I could go d3. Where does my bishop want to go? Well, it's got to go. Oh, I could put on g3. No, we're just going to put on e2 castles, and then this queen might have to move. Maybe I could have went queen g3. Okay, well here I might just go g3. I could also go king d1. But I'm just going to go g3. But king d1 was interesting, and this check almost works, but I don't have. Wait, maybe that's still good. No. Okay, I might castle queenside. I'm going knight b2. This queen needs to move for my knight to get to e5. Okay, let's go here. I'm going to castle queenside, I think. Actually, I should have been playing for e4, honestly. Okay. I'm going to go for this. I don't care if my king's on d2. We have the bishop pair against 2 knights. What's not to like? Okay. Can I go e4 here? No. h3 g4. Try that. Yeah, I don't like the new account, but he's got lots of games played. Okay, h5. Can I go g4 here? Can I sack a rook on g4? Like g4, hg, hg, fg, rook takes, knight takes, queen takes. Okay. Yeah, I might be able to. I can get a pawn and a knight for the rook. And he doesn't have to do anything here, but takes. Okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to sack material here. His pieces aren't that far away from being developed, though, so I don't know if this will work. Now, actually, come to think of it, I don't have to sack a piece. Maybe I can go queen h3. He has knight h6. No, I can just take. Oh, that might just be winning. Oh, that's just winning right there. Wow, game over. Yeah, that's funny because I went for this line with the expectation of playing rook g4. Okay, so do I take on g4 or do I give a check? And then another check? No, I think I'm taking on g4 here. So I'm going to take on g4. His king is already very awkward. And then I think I'll take with the rook, or do I want to give a check again? No, I don't. I think I'm going rook takes g4. Maybe queen takes. I'm threatening bishop g7. They both look good. Okay, knight f6. Then I have rook h8. Okay, let's go with the queen. So knight f6, there's rook h8. No, first we take. No. Yeah, first we take and then rook h8. If knight f6, yeah, first we take here and then we have rook h8. Yeah, because if I go rook h8 first, there's knight g8. Which is still very good, though. We have check. But no, I think I'll just take the knight. Hello, Rishadon. So e5 was played. Oh, I need to change the stream title because the lesson is over. Yeah, so I'm just going rook h8 here. With a sneeze. Excuse me. Okay, so that's not dilly-dally. I waste so much time. Oh, he resigns. Okay, I'm going to update the stream title now. Give me a second. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Okay, sorry. Stream title has been updated. Wow, 15 viewers now. You guys all missed the live lesson. It was a 2-hour lesson. You guys missed it. Maybe, I don't know, can you go backwards in time during a live stream? I don't think you can. It's buffering. Okay. Yeah, so that was a 20 move win. It's kind of funny because I was not planning the queen h3. I was planning to go rook takes g4. This f5 was not so easy to dispel or refute, and it's unusual, but he does. Yeah, and then this doesn't really do anything. This queen h4. I was considering king d1. Just try to get the knight in. My idea was to go knight e5. He gave me the bishop pair. It is a closed position, but bishop pair should be pretty good here. And then, Yeah, and then I can just start attacking. I was threatening g4, bring in the rook, and yeah. So had he taken with the pawn, I don't have rook h3. Now, would I want to sack there, or would I want to just go queen g3? I might. Oh, that's a tough one. Yeah, so it was really knight takes that was a blunder. This should be better for white, but I don't know how easy it is. I don't think it's that easy. Yeah, so this should just be losing. Okay, let's look at that with the engine. Boop. And yeah, that was one inaccuracy. What was the inaccuracy? It was d3. It wants to go queen h5. I thought about this, but then what? Refresh. Come on. Check. Then queen h3. And then apparently g4 is a move. I don't think I would have done this in a tournament game. Okay. Let me open up CPT. Oh, crap. My keyboard broke. I'm such a cheapskate. Whenever I move the keyboard, this falls off and I have to manually insert it. And essentially, I can't move my keyboard or it will break every time. Okay. I might as well show what I'm doing. Boom. Boom, boom. This is a game I was analyzing earlier today. At least I don't think this one's in there. Yeah. Okay, so where was that one? That was this one? Okay. And let me do the next. Oh, yeah, this is a game I played yesterday. I'm just analyzing. Okay, sorry. Getting back to this game. Boop, boop. Yeah, nothing to look at other than it wanted this. This was apparently better. Queen h5, g6, queen h3, g4. I wouldn't find that in a tournament game. Yeah, I'm happy with how I played, essentially. Let's play another one. 1958, 400 games played. Might have high RD. Yeah, so had a tiring day today. I still have a lot more to do, which is a little stressful. Okay, can I take that? I think I can take it. Yeah, and I'll just come straight back. Play conservatively because we just want a pawn. I don't understand it. You see what I mean? Like, it's just weird because sometime 1900s just blunder on move 4, and then sometimes they just steamroll me. Usually they steamroll me, but yeah, it's just kind of weird. So do I want maybe d5? And then I can go c4. Let's try that. Oh, wait, there is a check on b5, which I don't hate. Yeah, I'm going to go d5. So check. I could go bishop d7 or knight c6. Maybe knight bd7. Knight here, no problem. a6. I think I can do this. Yeah, let's do that. Here we go, a6. Okay, so I can go c4. I could also go a6 and then take with the knight, but that's a little awkward. Wait, no, what am I smoking? I can just go a6 and I thought I was dropping a piece here. I can just go here. Okay, I don't know. I'm overthinking this. Oh my God. I thought he was hitting c5 twice with his knight c3 move for somehow. I thought this was attacking this pawn. Don't ask me how. "13 viewers on YouTube, 2 on Twitch." What is it, Tuesday night? Okay, c4. Yeah, let's do it. I don't really like him on this diagonal, so let's go c4. And then I have to pick up the pace. How am I doing on checkpoints? I'm doing okay on the checkpoints, but yeah, let's pick up the pace here before I flag. So b6, I think. Okay, or no, should I take? I should probably take. Let's take that. Oh, maybe I had queen c7. I don't know. And then I think I'm just going b6. Again, I need to play quicker, so I shouldn't overthink. Maybe I had bishop b4 as well. Yeah, bishop b4 now, possibly. He can... Yeah, I guess, where does he go? It's not such a bad move. Maybe queen c2. Okay, I'll reserve. I like the idea, but first I'm going to go bishop b7, and then maybe rook c8, and then bishop b4. Okay, I don't know. Maybe wants this. I could maybe prevent that. Could hit him here. Do I want to trade off that bishop? This bishop sucks. If this knight moves, I can maybe go here. Okay, here. No, I'm going to go here. I don't want bishop f4. I don't want bishop f4. It's not so easy to deal with because he goes to h2. I guess I could have done that. And no, I couldn't have. Yeah, okay. Now, if he goes knight e5, I just take it. If he goes knight g3, tempting to take it. My main problem right now is my light squared bishop, which is terrible. I'm up a pawn, but yeah, it's tempting to take that. I'm not going to. Rook c8. It's always useful. Let's just play it. If bishop g5, I have h6. Knight e4 is interesting. Okay, well, h6, I think. Can he do stuff here? Takes. No, it shouldn't work. So h6. Could do something like this. Rook c3. He goes back. Can I push here? I can. That's dangerous though. Then he has knight f5. And I can't. He's got 3 on it. Okay. So maybe rook e8. Okay, I guess rook e8. I need to get something going here. So so e5. I can take with the bishop. Oh God, what happened to my position? I was up a pawn, right? I mean, I'm still up a pawn, but I can go here and then I can take and then maybe bring the other knight back. I don't know. It's an idea. I don't want to spend more time on it. But a pawn on e5 is so strong. I don't want him getting a pawn there. It's just too strong. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Maybe F5. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. Okay, I think we have this. Okay, that's good. However, no. Oh, he can go here. I still win a pawn at the end of the day. Ooh, my goodness. Okay, we have to take with the knight. Okay. Yeah, it takes check. Knight takes h7. Okay, there's that. Chat is quiet. 10 viewers. 14 now. 14 viewers on YouTube, that is. And how many on the Twitch? 2 on the Twitch. How am I doing on the clock? Slightly below my checkpoints. So my checkpoint system, I should have minimum of 5:30 on the clock here. And I'm at 5. So I'm just slightly below my checkpoints. Which means I have to play a little quicker. But honestly, this is not the simplest position to play, like at least to find progressive moves. But I still have to keep that in mind about to play quicker. Okay, so I'm on the rook, right? So rook a2, I'm taking the pawn. He can give me a check. I go knight h7. I'm up 2 pawns here. Yeah, so let's take knight h7. What did he take there? My knight? That's a weird move. Well, I have to take the knight because he has his Zwischenzug. So let's take with the queen. Oh, tricky. So I can't. That's a tricky move. Had I taken with the knight, then he would have had this. Oh, but no, it wouldn't have mattered because he couldn't have taken this pawn because he just got rid of the thing. Okay. I gotta play quicker. Let's just go here. That's a weird move though. Here. Just play quicker. Play quicker. Play quicker. He's scaring me though. Because there's stuff like this. He was thinking about, had I moved the bishop somewhere else, he had bishop h6. Okay, let's take that. I just have to play quicker. Can I push here? All right. His knight gets in. Okay, let's just, I have to move. I have to move it. Okay. Okay. Queen h5. And the knight's coming in. Oh my god. Oh, I'm glad to see that. That was where but that's still strong. Okay, let's go here. Oh shit. No, let's defend that. Oh my god. This is not a good position. Okay, just make a move. Queen h5 was looking very scary. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Queen h5 was looking very scary. I might have been losing after Queen h5. Okay, now push. And then just keep pushing. Okay, he was on. Yeah, that was looking very scary after queen h5. I didn't appreciate the rook f6 as much. Yeah, because queen h5, because he's going to play knight f5. This was looking scary for sure. I have e4. I don't know if he has time for knight f5 right away. Let's say he plays it. Let's just say I take. Thanks for the sub, Tyler. Nice username, nice name. Takes here. I guess, okay, I might still be alive there because these pawns stop a lot of tricks. So maybe I'm still winning after queen h5, but it was looking scary. So maybe this might have been a little too much, but I don't know what else I would play. There's not a whole lot of safe moves here for me. Knight h7 or something. Maybe. Yeah, interesting. Maybe this was good, but this is getting scary. So I think after queen h5, I think I might still be okay after e4, but just barely. Okay, let's look at that with the engine. So another quick win. We like those. So the first game was 20 moves, and this game was 31. Okay, 31 isn't that. Yeah, I was losing. I'm not surprised. I was losing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this all went well. I had a decent handle on the clock, and then this was a mistake. E5. So E5 is only equal. And yeah, so queen h5 is winning. And had I played E4, knight f5, and takes, there's queen g4. Oh, queen g4, of course. So I had to sack the queen. And then, yeah, this is not good. But it was also losing because of what he played. Oh, no, sorry. Knight f5 would have been winning. I think partly because he's threatening. Oh, yeah, because now he can play queen g4. So he severs the queen's connection to g4. So he just played too quickly here. Yeah, what a blunder. And so here I had to play queen d8, and we're holding. I didn't appreciate his attack here. So any other move? Yeah, I was wondering, what do I play here instead? Queen e7, so we can take back with the queen. Queen d8, same reason. Queen c7 isn't as clear. Yeah, this one would be a weird defense. And then we have queen f4. Oh, tricky. What else was there? Queen c6. What's the idea here? Queen c3. So yeah, defending from behind. Yeah, that's a weird way to play though. Okay, anyways, I'm going to play another one. I got lucky there. I had to have appreciated. I keep playing 1900s because I'm not far away from it, unfortunately. Black again with an ugly Alapin. Ooh, it's like a snaky Alapin. Yeah, because he's just going to put it on c2 and play d4. I don't think there's anything special. And e5 does not stop that plan because if I take, then he just he gets that crap. I forget what I'm supposed to do about that. So I'm gonna go e6. I don't know. Actually, I seem to recall in some lines you can go queen c2, just in general when they put a bishop on c2, because that way I should with the knight not here, because that way when you take the bishop's hanging. But here it doesn't quite work, but it is an idea. I kind of want to play it immediately, honestly. I'm actually going to play it. It does a lot of things. It covers e5, covers f4, And there's some situations where you can trade and then c2 is hanging. Yeah. Okay. So let's just go bishop e7, I think. Yeah, because this is still going to happen. Oh wait, no, maybe it works now. E5, D4, CD, CD, ED. Knight takes, queen takes. Yeah, it works now, right? I can go E5. This queen C7 is awesome. He might go D3 though, but yeah, but E5, D4, CD, CD, ED. Knight takes, queen here. Although I'm just left with an isolated pawn. Wait, but did I win a piece there? Yeah, I'm up a piece. Okay, I'm going to try. I'm wasting my time on this. But yeah, I got to think of this. I like this queen c7 idea. So he goes d3. Yeah, let's just put this here. This queen c7, when a bishop goes to c2, yeah, it's a neat little thingy. Okay, let's castle. I burned a lot of time on all that. Let's just go h6. I got to make some quick moves now because I'm low on the clock. A braver man would play g5, but I'm not brave. So there's a5 potentially. He can't get a knight here that quickly. It's kind of weird though. E5, he can take my knight. And a5 just stops b4, but b4 is already covered, so I don't need to play a5. I could maybe go b5. b5, a4, a6. No, I can't do that. b4, push. Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's try b5. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Bishop b7, and maybe this opens up. Knight h5. Oh, rook e8. No, yeah. Can I go here? Takes. Because this is not the greatest bishop for me. Maybe I, and I have f5 here potentially, which is not the greatest move either. But yeah, maybe I go knight h7, maybe knight e8. No, that I could do that. I don't know if that's the right approach. I'm playing really weird this game. Chat, be quiet. Chat is quiet. 11 viewers in YouTube. And how many on Twitch? 2 on Twitch. Okay, so he goes back. I can offer a knight trade. That just helps him, I think. Can I go f5? Do I want to go f5? Takes. He has a discovery on my thing. I could go here. Okay, let's just do that. I have to play quicker. I'm playing way too slowly. Now f5 is back on the table. So yeah, I'm going to go f5 now. And I guess I'll take with the bishop. Just because. Connect my rooks. And then maybe knight g5. Still possibly knight g5. Maybe e5 is a little dangerous, or d5, I mean. Is it little dangerous? I think he has to go back to d2. I think. I don't think he can take an e5. It's a check I can just take back. So I think he has to go back. This is looking... Oh, I unfortunately, I can't play e4 because my queen will be hanging. Yeah, so I'm not sure about that. Maybe not e5 here. What about knight f6? Okay, I'm going to try knight f6. If knight h4, I might... Okay, opponent left the game. Uzbekistan. Okay, if he goes knight h4... Oh, he left. I don't know. He left. Let's take a look at that. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the ending of it. So this is +1 for white. I didn't really feel it was +1. I thought it's probably equal. Okay. So I wonder if I could go queen c7 here right away before knight c6. You can do it. Yeah. So again, when the bishop's on c2, I like to play queen c7 because it essentially stops d4 in a lot of positions. Here it's suggesting e5, and then if he checks back, then d5 immediately. And if d4, then I don't know. I hate this. Is, oh my God, so many permutations of. I hate that. E6 was not best, but it was totally playable. It didn't like e5 because of d4. I thought he couldn't do this. What did I miscalculate? I thought I could take. Oh, did I missed e5. I assumed he goes here, and then I thought I'm up a piece here. What am I misevaluating? My queen is trapped. Oh my God. Crazy. I'm glad that didn't happen because I spent time calculating that. Didn't see knight c3. That's tricky. And then, yeah, before here, I totally forgot about e5, which I should have totally seen. Of course, I just assumed he's going to take on d4, but you just play e5 first. This is, when I used to play e4, there's a lot of positions like that. You just play e5. Totally missed that. So I think I have to play d6 here. Okay. And then, yeah, this was all fine. b5 I was experimenting with. It's actually the top move. Wow. And then this is playable. This is playable. Computer is okay with it. Or we could play really boring with d6 and rook b8. Yeah. This will probably transpose anyway. So this was another mistake. E takes, and then this was good, but I got even just d4 here apparently. Maybe because this knight is now on double duty, eyeing d4 and e7. So you know, if we take here, yeah, the knight can't handle both. Oh wait, sorry, the queen is handling one of them. I guess it's just a pawn sacrifice. There's checks. And then there's stuff like this. I don't know. It's a kind of a complicated position, but yeah, black's position is Swiss cheese with the pawns there. So that's an interesting pawn sacrifice, which I don't blame my opponent for not seeing. That's kind of an advanced move. And then, yeah, here I just, sorry, my opponent just disconnected. I think I'm going to end it there because I still have a lot of stuff I need to do. So as a recap, I started with a nearly 2 hour stream with my coach, Alessandro. For those of you that missed it, you can just watch it on YouTube later. And then I played 3 games. The last one, my opponent disconnected, but I won the first 2. So finished in the green there. That's something, you know, slowly getting a little bit of rating back. It's still below where I want it to be, but at least we're going in the right direction now. Hopefully that can continue, because this is where we were. This is where we were. This is where we dropped to. And this is where we are now. Okay, I'll be back. Oh, I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow. 50% chance I'll be back tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll be back on Thursday for sure. Feel free to subscribe if you're new to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you soon.